you guys, I am in my car, can you tell? But I'm not driving. Hooray! I just got done doing some dissertation work at Starbucks. There it is. And I'm so excited. So before I drive home, I thought I would chit-chat for a second and say some stuff about my dissertation and my progress and what I've been doing. So here we are. I'm not too keen on holding this camera up. Okay, I guess if I do that, that's better. So it's gonna be a little shaky. I'm sorry. Maybe one day I'll get some sweet setup in my car. I don't know. But for now I don't. So, you guys know I'm working on my dissertation and that it is slow going, okay? Writing a dissertation is really hard. There's no way around it. It's really hard. And I have been struggling with time management, finding time, making time, organization, and just the oomph to do it. So I've been struggling, but my advisor really wants me to be done this time next year. And I should be doing a defense for my dissertation, like in 13 months. Which means I need to pick up the pace. After this chapter, I'm on chapter 2. After this chapter, I have 2 more chapters to write. And if I'm entirely honest with you, so far chapter 2 has been a lot easier to physically write. I just have no idea what the revision process is going to be like. When I finish the draft of this chapter and I send it to my advisor, he could want to burn the whole thing. Revisions is what took the longest with chapter 1, and I'm hoping that I do better with round 2. Either way, I'm probably going to start writing chapter 3 while I'm still doing revisions for chapter 2, because I don't have time to just wait. So I'm going to have to start multitasking. Anyways, my second chapter, if I haven't mentioned it before, is about Africa and travel writing. So I'm taking Hemingway's Green Hills of Africa. I'm writing about travel writing in Africa in the interwar period between World War I and World War II. So I'm taking Green Hills of Africa by Hemingway that was published in 1936, and I'm discussing it with, in the context and using as additional material articles on Africa from the National Geographic. There are 3 that I'm including. One from 1889, one from 1906, 07. No, this one was 1908. And the final one is from, I believe, it's from the 30s. I forget exactly what year it was published in. Maybe 36 as well. 32, 30, I have no idea. So it's been really, really fascinating to me. This is what I've been doing for the last few weeks. Reading these super old articles about Africa in the National Geographic. Now, even if you've never read the National Geographic, even if you have no interest whatsoever in what I'm about to say, you know, if someone says National Geographic magazine to you, you're thinking naked pygmy women in Africa. That is what National Geographic is synonymous for many, many reasons. And there's been a lot that talks about this. But there's people walking. I'm waiting for people to look at me weird. I don't care if they do. So far they haven't. But it's been so fascinating the way that these people who are trying to be objective and trying to be scientific and informative, they're taking an entire continent that for the most part people in the West know nothing about at all, if you're your average middle-class American reader who can afford the subscription to National Geographic and are so inclined, you probably don't know much about Africa. At all. So they're trying to tell these people, tell these readers, these subscribers, what the place is like, what Africa as a continent is like, what is the environment, what is the geography, what are the landscapes like. But they're also trying to describe the people. And there's this weird tension between, we have to talk about slavery. Slavery hasn't been abolished for that long, but we got to talk about it. But we don't want to ruffle feathers. So you can be sure that there are probably people who were subscribed to the National Geographic who were pro-slavery. So it's the fine line between the informative yet, I'm trying to think of the right word I want to use. The informative yet very biased and strange way that they're writing about the people and the places is just fascinating to me. I have bust out laughing several times in Starbucks while reading and taking my notes. While I'm writing and I'm reviewing my notes, I'm going back over these things and I'm thinking, what were they thinking? They can't say these things. It is a process. It is fun. But I'm really excited because I'm at 32 pages. You guys, my second chapter is at 32 pages right now. And I still have one more National Geographic article to talk about and another text by another author, Langston Hughes, to write about. And then I have to synthesize everything and make sure it looks good and do revisions. So this chapter, like my little mustache, this chapter is aiming to be like 45, 50 pages. It is going to be a beast. I haven't even put my works cited into it yet. I've been citing things, but I haven't typed up the works cited yet, which my advisor will yell at me, as he does many times, and tell me to use EndNote. But I don't know how EndNote works. And I feel like I'm too dumb for it. So if you watch this and you know how EndNote works and you feel like helping me, drop me a line. I will like that. So I'm really, like I said, I'm really excited. I emailed what I have so far off to my advisor with a very clear plan. I want to finish the draft of this chapter this week or next week. And after that, let's talk. So I am hoping, this is mid-April, I'm hoping that by the end of April, beginning of May, so when the semester is wrapping up, I'm able to sit down with him, talk about it, agree on some revisions and a plan of revision, and start looking forward to Chapter 3, which is going to be super exciting. Chapter 3 is on the Spanish Civil War. And I have not done any work ever. I've talked about writing about Africa before. I've talked about World War I 100 million times before. And my last chapter is World War II. I've talked about World War II before. I have never had the chance to talk about the Spanish Civil War, and I am pumped. I'm super geeked to get to that chapter. It will probably be the shortest chapter, but after this beastly Chapter 2 that I'm working on, I'm okay with that. Make that one easy. Make Chapter 3 easy. Make Chapter 4 medium. And then let me put that ish together. You guys think I can do this? You think that by the end of this year, because I'm planning on a lot of time for revision, that by December 31st, 2019, can I have a complete rough draft of my dissertation? I think I can do it. I'm putting it out there right now, universe. I will be ringing in 2020 with a manuscript ready to be edited, and polished. All right. I got to go get my man some fruit punch, and I got some pot roast to put in my belly. Love you. Thanks for listening, and I will see you soon. Mwah!